What's the worst prejudice you've ever had about a student? What's the biggest, now think about this and be honest. What is the biggest difference between the way you treated one student and all the others? Are you listening and cringing right now? Or are you one of those who thinks that you have no prejudices and you've never treated students differently? I have had prejudices and still do. There's no way to get away from that. We just need to be aware of them and not let them guide us. And I've treated students differently and have had to do major work to figure out why and how to stop it. It was not comfortable admitting it, but it was the truth. What did I do? Well, I'll tell you. But first, let's see if you're prejudiced or not, all right? This is pretty much the process I did when I reflected on the hugely different ways I used to treat some students. Now, no one is there in your mind judging you and making sure you're being honest, so just be honest. All right, think about this. You're about to begin a lesson. All your students are sitting in groups, they've read the instructions, and they've told you that they're ready to roll. All of a sudden, the door to the classroom opens, and who walks in? Okay, which would bother you more? A girl with a purple afro and glitter lipstick with tattoos running down her neck and arms? Or a boy with a hoodie pulled down to his nose? Did you just gulp? Did I hear that? Did you begin seething with rage at their lack of respect for the norms of the school or your class? Did you feel that they chose their look just to see smoke coming out of your ears? It's important to just check on your reactions to either or both. All right, another situation. Ready? You come in on the first day of class after winter break, and two new students are sitting in a group in the front. One is Asian, and the other is Eastern European. The day goes on, and one of them turns out to excel in the math class. The other seems to light up only during PE, nothing else. Which one of them, in your mind, did you automatically decide is the ace in maths, and which one, in your mind, is only good at sports? Why did you make those conclusions? Because we treat our students differently depending on our assumptions and, dare I say, prejudices. So, what influenced where your mind jumped to? And before we completely delve into it, should we try just one more situation just for the heck of it? I hear a big yes, so let's go. All right. You're the principal of the school, and one of the teachers calls you to help her reach a solution for two students who seem to have copied a homework assignment, one from the other. You have 1 million messages on your desk. You have 500 phone calls to return, and you're in a hurry. So you walk into the classroom, you don't ask any details from the teacher, and there are two girls sitting there. One is tall, blonde, with a flowery dress on, sandals, a pretty heart necklace, and beautiful bracelets hanging from both of her arms. She's sitting up straight and smiles at you as you walk in. The other is a girl who is very overweight, wearing a flannel shirt that hasn't been washed recently, torn jeans from overuse, dirty trainers, and long brown unbrushed hair that hides half of her face as she's looking down at the desk when you walk in. So, being in a hurry, you walk straight up to one of the girls and ask her why she felt she needed to copy the homework from the other. Which one did you accuse of copying? Think about why you thought about that. Ask yourself 10 why questions. Did you pick one of the girls because it had to do with past experiences? Was it because of how blondes are portrayed in movies? Was it because of how overweight girls are treated in miniseries? Was it because ads with children who don't look directly at the camera mean they're antisocial and angry and therefore probably guilty? Is it because of clothes ads with skinny, seductive-looking models are really appealing? All I'm asking you to do is think about your reactions to different situations, different students, and think about where your reactions come from experience, from the truth, from the media, from prejudices from your family, from the community, from the society. We just really need to look at how we act in the classroom. I have suggested for years in workshops that putting a mobile phone in the corner of your own classroom is a fantastic way of finding out a ton of important information about yourselves, about ourselves. You record yourself for a few days, not to show anyone, not to do anything except look at it ourselves and observe yourself. Do you treat students differently without even realizing it? Do you talk more to the girls? Do you talk more to the left side of the room? Do you answer more questions from the students in the front and ignore those in the back? Do you have more patience for a Finnish student and less from the ones from Latin America? Do you turn your back without realizing it more frequently to the group with 2 German students in it who never smile? Or are you always in front and helping the group with the bouncy, enthusiastic, well-dressed students? No judgment. Just observe and take note. If we don't admit a lot of the underlying thinking about our students, and if we don't observe ourselves, how can we check ourselves when we act overtly differently with certain students? We're doing ourselves and our students a huge disservice if we don't take this step. So again, there's no judgment. I have been there and I've done all the wrong things. I've acted with really skewed expectations. And then I finally realized what I was doing, and I began reflecting what was behind the way I acted around different students. Some of them were really dirty and they smelled, for instance. Others were always fighting with each other, and it drove me crazy. But my hidden prejudices about them were not helping anyone. And I had to stop letting them guide my attitude towards my students and become more overly fair to all of them. So just think about how much media, movies, mini-series influences us in all this. In how many shows is the Indian taxi driver depicted with an incredibly strong accent, and he's really stupid, and he doesn't know how to, navigate his way in society very well? How often are the British portrayed as elitist and arrogant? Have you ever counted the series in which the German characters are eccentric and antisocial? We need to be really honest about how much we imbibe from the media influence, the social media, TVs, news, anything, and how much of that is reflected in how we react and interact with our students. So we can break down hidden prejudices once we recognize them, and reflection is the key to doing this. We can be transformative. We can be transformative in our classrooms for ourselves and for our students, and have so much better relationships with our students just by reflection. And in this way, we become powerful, even more powerful educators. This is Doorways to Learning, where we explore all the facets of education and talk to educators all over the world and explore so many different facets of the educational world. We're going to shine even more light on hidden prejudices and ways we can improve our messages to our students in future episodes. Stay tuned. And in the meantime, have fun in your classes and at home, and see you soon for more.